Hello everyone, welcome to Organolysis. So this is our rearrangement reaction part 7, and in this video we are going to learn about two important rearrangement reaction, that is diene-on phenol rearrangement and the second one is the Wolff rearrangement. Okay, so Wolff rearrangement is basically the consequence of Ardeyster reaction and we also do that. Now let's start the first rearrangement reaction, that is diene-on phenol rearrangement. Okay, so at first you have given that diene-on. Why it is called diene-on? That you can see that there is a two double bond, so that is called diene, and one double bond O, that is called that is called on. So that is why this overall complex are called diene-on. So the diene-on to phenol rearrangement. Okay, you can see that this is the kind of phenol derivative, and you have to substitute it over here. This CH2 group has substituted by this 2R group, and this 2R group, either only this one or this one, it can migrate to this position. Okay, in presence of acid, any kind of acid. So see the mechanism and how this reaction proceed and what is the driving force of this reaction. So at first you have to know that is the in presence of acid is given. So this oxygen has a lone pair of electron. It generally takes a proton from here, so that you are getting this OH positive, and next that this R group is migrate over here. Okay, so I will show you here that this R group will migrate. Now there is no choice of group, that is R is what and R prime is what. So you can migrate any of this, either R or R prime. So R will migrate over here, and these bonds go here, and this will neutralize this oxygen. And after this migration, here you get this positive charge. So you to neutralize this positive charge and to get the aromatized product, so this H plus will remove from the system. So it will remove from the system, and you are getting this kind of phenol derivative. Now see the driving force of this reaction. Now the driving force of this reaction is basically the stable aromatic system. Okay, so the driving force of the reaction is stable aromatic system, right? So this is your basically the driving force. So that is why this reaction, this diene-on basically formed, diene-on to phenol is basically formed during this rearrangement reaction. Right, now let's see some example, and we also solve the previous year questions. Right, now see the first example, that you have given this kind of structure, that is this kind of diene-on, and you have placed this H plus. Now what will be the next step? We all know that is oxygen has a lone pair. It takes a proton from here. You are getting this OH plus, and after that ethyl will migrate over here. These bonds go here. This is like this. So after this migration, this position has a positive charge. So to neutralize this positive charge, here from here, this one hydrogen will be placed, and you are getting this kind of product. Okay, so this is your rearrangement product. Now let's see some the next example, that is this one. Right, now this example is very much important and very much basic and very much conceptual. Okay, so you have to know that why this rearrangement reaction takes place. So for this we know that first, what will be our first step, that it takes a proton. So it's basically this first step, we all know that. Now the next step is that this instead of this methyl group, this ring is migrate over here. And now why this bond migration takes place in preference to this methyl group? So it is just because of this, it can further rearranged to get this isomeric product. Okay, we also seen the both of them, that we will see that from here you are getting two different kind of product, either this one and this one. So these two products are isomeric to each other. So see the first thing is that this bond will migrate over here. So what will be the next step? Like this, you are getting this one. So you have the positive charge over this carbon. Then the next step is that it can go like this. Okay, so over here you are getting this positive charge. Now after that there is a possibility of two things. Right, now the first possibility is that there is a two bond, like either we can name it like this, either it is A and it is B. So if the A bond will migrate, that is this bond, if this bond is migrate over here, so you are getting this kind of product, that you have the positive charge over here, and further this removal of this H plus, you are getting this final aromatic stable aromatic phenol product, phenol derivative, right? The next step is that another possibility is that if the B bond will break and B bond will migrate over this positive center. So if the B bond will migrate, then there is a positive charge over here, and the methyl groups are closest to this OH group, right? Now that is why after this removal of proton, from here removal of proton, you are getting this kind of phenol derivative, right? Now next, this is a very much important, so that is why there is a formation of two product. Okay, this one, and I'm writing over here this one, right? Here is your methyl, and here is your OH, and here is your methyl. So these two are isomeric to each other. So this the driving force of this reaction is the bond migration over this methyl migration. Just because of you are getting these two isomeric products, so that is why this bond migration takes place. Now the next example is that the same dienone is given to you, and in this methyl you have given a cyclopentane kind of ring. So we all know that after this protonation you are getting OH plus, and this bond will migrate. Similarly, you are getting this kind of derivative. Okay, so mechanism is basic, so basic. Now the next example, and which is very much important, and that is why the question is also asked from the CSIR June 2019, that the question is, you have the kind of substrate like this, that is a dienone, and you have one methyl over here, and here is your R group. Now the question is that if the R group is pH, what will be the product, and if the R group is CO280, then what will be the product? Now if we place the R group by using pH, now what will be the structure? The structure will be like this, that is pH and your methyl, and this is given that is trifluoroacetic acid. So you all know that this is a kind of acid, so it will form this kind of intermediate, and in between the methyl and phenyl, which has a greater migratory aptitude. We all know that phenyl has a greater migratory aptitude, so that is why phenyl will migrate, and these bonds go here and these bonds go over here. So after the removal of proton, we are getting this derivative. Okay, so this is so simple. But in case of here, if you substitute the R group by using, if we substitute this R group by CO280, here is your methyl and here is your COOET. Now we all know that here is a positive charge like this after this protonation. Now which one will migrate, either methyl or CO280? So you can easily say that methyl will migrate. So it just because of methyl has a greater migratory aptitude, so that methyl will migrate, and these bonds go here, and you are getting this kind of intermediate, this kind of product, that is you have methyl migration and CO280. But you are completely wrong, just because this methyl is not migrated over here. And why this methyl migrated is not takes place, I will show you that. If the methyl migrates, then what will be the intermediate? So that see here, that if the methyl migrate, that is, this is your OH, bond go here, here is your positive charge, and here is your COOET, and here is your methyl. So that methyl is migrating over here, this methyl will migrate over here. So if the methyl migrate, then there is a positive charge, and here is your the group which is present in ipso to this positive charge is that the CO280, which is electron withdrawing group. So electron withdrawing group will simultaneously destabilize this carbocation, so that this product will not form, and this methyl migration has not takes place. So over that, what will be the product? So in this case, the CO280 will migrate. So that is why this question came in CSIR, right? Now if this CO280 will migrate, then what will be the product? Here is your positive charge. Now we can easily say that this positive charge is stabilized because of this methyl group, and it has a electron releasing group, and it is electron donating in nature. So that is why this positive charge is stabilized, and you are getting the final product, that this one. So instead of methyl, this CO280 will migrate from here, you are getting this product, right? So that is why this question is important. Now that is why, and the question is important, and the question is directly taken from Claydon. Okay, you can go over there, Claydon. In the rearrangement chapter, you are getting this kind of, in the rearrangement chapter, in dienol-phenol rearrangement section, you are getting this question. Okay, so this is very much conceptual and important. Now the next comes our topic, that is the Wolff rearrangement. Okay, I already previously said that the Wolff rearrangement is basically the consequence of Arndt-Diester reaction. Okay, so I also show you that the Arndt-Diester reaction and the Wolff rearrangement both, right? Now for the Wolff rearrangement, the intermediate which is undergoes the Wolff rearrangement is that this kind of diazoketone. Okay, so what is the mechanism? This mechanism is very much basic. This kind of reaction we already seen in case of Beckmann, in case of Lozen, Cartier-Smith. All this kind of rearrangement reaction is the same. Okay, in case of Wolff rearrangement, it's also same. So the mechanism is very much basic. N2 is easily relieved from the system. Here you are getting this ketene, and after this hydrolysis you are getting the acid. I also show you that. At first you have to know the Arndt-Diester. The Arndt-Diester. Okay, so this Arndt-Diester reaction is that. Now what is the Arndt-Diester reaction? Arndt-Diester reaction is basically you have the acid, and if you have to make one carbon extra in between this acid and R group, so that is why this Arndt-Diester reaction is useful for this case, right? Now SOCl2 is used. We know that acid to acetyl chloride, you have to acid chloride, you have to prepare this, you have to put this SOCl2, so that is why this acid 2 you are getting COCl. Now after that, if you use CH2CN2 in excess, now that is the important step, that is your excess. So keep in your mind that the excess term is very much important, right? Now why this excess is needed, I will also show you later. That first thing is that we can write the CH2N2 in this way, that N triple bond N and plus, and this is your negative, and it will attack. I also show you in the mechanism step, right? From that you are getting this intermediate, and after this Ag2O and water you are getting this RCH2 COOH. Now you can see that here is your one carbon extra in between this R group and COOH group, right? Now let's the mechanism first, that you have this CH2N2, so in the COCl it will attack over here, these bonds go back to the center, and O minus and Cl, and you are getting this intermediate. Now the section is that the excess term is important, so that your one equivalent of CH2N2 is basically attack over here, and another equivalent of CH2N2 will take a proton from here, so that it will negative charge over this carbon center, and these bonds go here and it will leave from the system, so that you are getting this intermediate. Now after that these bonds go here and this will migrate and this N2 will leave, so that you are getting this ketene, right? So this is called ketene. So this is ketene intermediate, and after this hydrolysis you are getting, after the hydrolysis and minus of H plus and plus H plus, you are getting this RCH2OH. Right, the next is that the excess. Why this excess is needed for this reaction? If the excess is not used in this reaction, and then what will be the product? Now here our substrate is this, we are using this CH2N2, and now why this now the name of this CH2N2 is that diazomethane. So this CH2N2 is called diazomethane. Now this is a positive, here is a negative, here is a positive. It will attack over here, this bond like this, O minus, here is your Cl, here is your CH2 and N2, right? Now if the excess is not used in this reaction, then that this step will not operate over this reaction, so that then what will be the product? So then these bonds go here, and this Cl will migrate to this CH2 center, and this will leave from the system. So minus N2 will leave, and your product is basically the RCO CH2Cl, right? So this is the importance of this reaction. If the excess is not used, then this kind of product has been takes place. Now see some example which is basically used in this CH2 by using this diazomethane or any kind of reaction like this. That is, this is also the useful consequence of this Wolff rearrangement reaction. Now we are taking this compound. Now we can write this in this way. I'm written over here. We can write in this way, N plus, and here is your negative charge. Now if this N2 will leave from the system, then what will be the product? You are getting a carbene over here, so that you have to keep in your mind, if the N2 is used and H nu is present present in the reaction mixture, then this N2 will leave and it generates a carbene in the center. Then these bonds go over here and you have this kind of intermediate, and after that you have given the methanol is present, so methanol will attack over here, bonds go here, and it takes a proton from the final step, right? See the final product, 0 OMe, that is your final product. Now let's see the next example, that if we use in a cyclohexanone and if we use this diazomethane, then there is a possibility of two types of product, right? One is the ring migrated product, and another is the this kind of epoxide ring. Okay, now how this reaction takes place? See, this CH2N2 is basically attack to this carbonyl carbon like this, so you are getting this kind of intermediate, so that if these bonds go here, there is a possibility of ring migration. This N2 will leave, you are getting the cycloheptanone. This is your cycloheptanone. And if these bonds like this, then this kind of intermediate, it can also attack over here, and this can also leave. So you have two possibility. There is a formation of two products, and that is this one, another is this one. Let's come to the next one, that you have given this CH2N2 like this kind of substrate, so it can attack to the center. These bonds go here, is your O minus, and here is your N2 plus, and after that these bonds go here and it will migrate over here, and this N2 will leave, so that you are getting this fuse kind of this fuse ring, right? So this is the one product. Another product is also formed by using now see that there is a possibility of, if these bonds go here, these bonds can migrate, or either these bonds can migrate. So if this bond migrate, then you are getting this product. And the next part is that if these bonds go here and if this bond will migrate, then this kind of product has been takes place, right? So see the next example. This is very much important, and this question is maybe came in Hyderabad Central University's exam, right? So this is important. The next is that you have this CH2 radical, that is your radical. So sorry, not radical, this is a carbene, right? This is your carbene. So if this carbene is used, now how can you form this carbene? If you use this CH2N2 in H nu, you are getting this carbene. This N2 will basically leave from the system and you are getting this carbene. So these bonds, it can attack over like this, you are getting this intermediate. So this kind of this intermediate is not stable, just because it loses its aromaticity over here, so that it will always tries to get its aromaticity back. So these bonds go here and it will go here, then you are getting this kind of intermediate, right? So that's it. This is the overall rearrangement, that is Wolff, Arndt, Ester and this dienol-phenol rearrangement. I think I will cover all those topics related to this thing and also the previous year questions. So if you guys like this video, it is motivates me to make more good videos, right? So please do like the video and share this. If you new this channel, then don't forget to subscribe it, right? And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.